incorporate that to explain to the leadership as to what does Trump's victory mean for the international community and for South Africa, because South Africa has got some relationship with America. So we ought to know from his ideological and political perspective, what are his views about South Africa and Africa, and what does this victory mean? And then you have to deal with the preparations of the, for instance, the National People's Assembly, that politically, these are the issues that have taken place. To what extent have we succeeded in the preparations? Because the CCT we're going to, for instance, is the last, if not the second last. So you have to prepare the leadership as to what were the political preparations before, what are the conditions now, and what is the possible outcome at the National People's Assembly. Do you foresee any danger or any other thing that is threatening the stability of the organization or the success of the NPA and things like that? Yeah.
Okay, talk about what don't you like particularly. We know you excel at everything. But what is it that's the one thing, President, that you like? Yeah, this one I got, like.
Well, I'm an all-rounder. So there isn't anything that necessarily irritates me. I just don't like dishonest people.
Yeah, we know.
Because I'm forthright with my views. And I'm the kind that always says, but speak good about others and the leadership and the organization in private, so that you don't have a difficulty speaking good about the organization in public. Because if you are dishonest and you lie a lot in private, when you go take a public platform, those people that know your genuine views are likely to say, but who's this now? Who's speaking now? And all of that. So I should be able to, be honest with you, especially if we say we are comrades, we're brothers and sisters, because comradeship means brothers and sisters in struggle, means friends in struggle. I had someone saying brotherhood means gangsterism. Only those who come from a background of gangsterism will know. I've never chased my principal with a knife when I was still at high school, so I wouldn't know what gangsterism means. But I know brotherhood, comradeship, to be exactly that, that we were open to each other, we're honest to each other, we express our views genuinely and openly. It doesn't matter your view. And in their safe space, when they are alone, they will be able to make reflections of what was he saying actually, because it doesn't look like I paid attention. I always tell my wife that you guys don't use your power, because we don't have to agree with you or pretend to be listening, but you must know we are listening. So once it comes out of your mouth, you must know it landed in his ears. Whatever he does with it is his own problem. So never shy away from saying it, because they will know what you think and they will be able to make
So why
such
don't you
reflections.
just acknowledge, yeah, I heard you, I'm thinking about it. Or just have a... Because you do that quite well, President.
Well,
and later on, you're like, so he did hear what I said when I dropped things.
Absolutely. It's like saying to me, when I come to you to apologize, and I do it in a Sesheo township, when you say, why can't you say you apologize? It's apology of a thug. There is a way we do it without having to lose ourselves and feel like we're undermined properly. Yeah. So you go like, no, okay. No, I don't want such things. What. And then when you are alone, you're like, no. It looks like there is a point there. So the power is in saying it. No, don't hold back, because you're going to tell it to your boyfriend, you're going to tell it to your husband, you're going to tell it to anyone that you feel safe with. And you know how we're going to know how you feel? These people around you are going to start treating us like bad people. Because when you're with them, you make honest reflections about us, but you never tell us. And we don't know how you feel about us, about this. So I'm an open book. When I don't agree, I don't pretend. I don't even wait for you to finish. I go like, and then I stop after realizing,
But
no,
you're
this
getting a
person
bit
must
better now.
finish the point. Then I keep quiet, and then you finish. Then I respond. So there's no way you can become better as you grow, because you come to realize that some people don't mean bad. Some act from position of ignorance. Some act because there isn't much information shared with them. Some are genuinely better on this issue than you. And as you grow into this thing, you come to accept that we are not always right. We have to listen to other people, and we have to take into consideration the views of other people. If it was not of us listening to each other, this organization would have died a long time ago. The other thing that I despise with everything is laziness.
Yeah.
I don't like lazy people who can execute the simplest task. And I'm also a very much of a clean person.
Yeah, we know.
So I can't walk into a space where there's a mess and all of that. So the mind stops. So if you ask me anything, I'll be asking you, okay, why can't we remove these things? Why can't we clean here and all of that? There are times where I just walk around the office here and I go to the toilets. Our office is effectively a public office because everybody comes here to raise complaints. I go around to check if we've maintained the cleanness of the office, the order in the office. And then one day, when we started operating from this office, as I walk around, I find at the main entrance, someone went to cut a big card box and put at the main entrance. So I'm asking, what is this thing for now? They say, no, it was raining. When people come in, they must clean their feet there before they come in.
On cardboard.
Yeah. And I said, no, but it can't be. There are huge carpets of the EFF with the EFF
nice
logo.
ones, yeah.
Why are you not putting them here? They couldn't explain. I called TG. TG says, there are carpets there by the door. What do you mean? I said, no, come and see. There are no carpets. So this public we're receiving gets into that kind of an environment, which is not welcoming. So if you respect yourself, you'll respect people. Because I also don't understand why would civil servants, if you want to know this building belongs to government, you see it through the untidiness. So huge grass, it's only some passage where they drive into the building. Otherwise, the paving is not maintained, the building is not maintained. When you enter the building, the ceiling is falling, and under that falling ceiling, there are adults who are sitting there. I'm like, why would adults sit under such a ceiling and not do anything? From the workers' rights, to demand that we cannot work under this environment. Then it forces the bosses to maintain the buildings and all of that. And that's why I was very fond of Andries Tatan campaign, because it was about cleaning after our communities. And we went to clean one day in Tawazimbi. And there's an old woman who wanted to come and thank me. But it was now starting to be dark, and they were saying, no, stop, you can't go there. But she insisted. I said, no, let her come. Then she said, no, Malema, I wanted to thank you because this debt has been piling here next to my house since I arrived here, to an extent that I didn't see it as a debt. It was part of my life. So now that you have removed all of this and there's a fresh air coming, but I also realized there's something missing because I thought this is part of here. And that is what cleanness is about. So I really don't take very kind. My grandmother used to say to me, hey, the way you like the clean environment, you're going to marry a person who's not clean the way you want. And then I said to her, no, even if I marry a person who's not clean, my house will still be clean. Remember that time I'm just nobody at home with her, we're talking. And she says, okay, how are you going to do that? No, my wife is not a domestic worker. That they are domestic workers. That's a profession. There are people who do that for a living. So I will hire those people. And she laughed like, domestic worker when a child of a domestic worker, a domestic worker. So I've always had a plan around it that it's not entirely about wife being clean, or if there is a means, we can always hire those people or clean after ourselves. Why should it be a wife? And we were cleaning after her anyway, and we're not her wives or husbands. We're grandchildren, children. Yeah. So even if I didn't have the means, Ratanang is now 18. He would have now have started to clean after he's dead and make sure. Yeah. So those are the things, and that I pay attention to detail. So minute detail. Yeah. So so when you say to me, come and look at this, you must know I'm going to look at that and see the smallest mistake. And not all, but if you go into a construction that was done by a construction company of a white person, you realize that out of the privileges and experiences they were exposed to, their attention to detail is much better than our attention to detail. Not because we're just clumsy or anything of that sort, but it's amount of exposure and experience and opportunities that gets to be given to us, because we may want to pay attention to detail, but we may not get opportunities to do that. And as a result, we get opportunities and then we don't do the most perfect work because of that kind of experience. So if I were to be born in the second life, I will try and be an interior deco.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, so those things,
see you doing that.
I'm more into
Not
those
kettle
things.
anymore.
No, kettle I'm doing now. Kettle I'm doing now.
I want to take it into the second life.
And I can still be interior and deco and do the
kettle on the side.
The cattle or farming, because that's land. Yeah, so those are the things that if we pay attention to, and will not all be the same, we'll be able to complement each other and succeed.
And that's what you bring, I think, to the Central Command team and the team. Let's talk about building our fabulous building.
Yeah.
How passionate were you about it?
Well, I was involved.
And how hands-on were you?
Where we came to identify the building. I think you were there. And we found some small unions renting the building and all of that.
And they weren't paying our rent.
And it was, I think this is two buildings that were joined. And we chose this one and we started working on it.